Well, if this isn't any more proof that China is taking over the United States role, what used to be the United States role, in everything. This isn't more proof, I don't know what is. China launches global yuan payment system. Chinese currency payment system. Global. China's central bank has started a global payment system which provides cross-border transactions in yuan. The Chinese International Payment System, also known as CIPS, C-I-P-S, intends to internationalize the yuan and challenge the U.S. dollar's dominance. I don't even know if I'd be using that word in the same sentence anymore. U.S. dollar and dominance. I think we're beyond that, unfortunately. The establishment of CIPS is an important milestone in yuan internationalization, providing the infrastructure that will connect global yuan users through one single system. Helen Wang, Greater China Chief Executive at HSBC, was cited as saying by the Financial Times. CIPS will accept payments in cross-border trade, direct investments, financing, and personal remittances. The system is open for operations 11 hours a day. The first CIPS transaction was completed by Standard Chartered Bank for Sweden's IKEA. 19 banks have been authorized to use CIPS. 8 of them are Chinese subsidiaries of foreign banks, including Citi. Here's a scary one. Deutsche Bank, HSBC, and ANZ. And then it says, there's another little link. Read more. China's mega international payment system is ready. Will launch this year. Report. The old SWIFT system. Oh, sanctions. You can't use the SWIFT system. Oh, sanctions. Oh, that's okay. All the other countries that we put sanctions on, that's all right. Used to get upset about that. Not anymore. We'll use China. It's nice doing business with you while we could, USA. Take care. That's how easy it's going to be now. Prior to launching CIPS International, transfers in Chinese currency could be carried out mostly through offshore clearing banks in Hong Kong, Singapore, and London. While the procedure was slow and costly, the new system is expected to significantly reduce the cost and time for money transfers. China is also trying to reduce its reliance on the Global Transaction Services Organization known as SWIFT. Beijing is trying to bolster its currency's presence internationally. The yuan was the 4th most used currency for cross-border payments in August, with more than 100 countries using it for transactions. So, anyone want to stand up and chant USA? No? Maybe while people are looking for a job, unemployment's run out. Can't find another job. You've given up after months of looking. Are you sure you don't want to chant that? USA. Chinese currency. USA. You can chant that all the way down to the unemployment office. If you'd like. In all honesty. So, it's sad that I have to come out here and do these kinds of videos. Why can't I be doing this about someone else's country? Why can't this be about someone else's country going down the tubes? That used to be great, and they were warmongers, and they deserve what they get because of their actions across the world all these years. Why can't I do that about someone else? Why does it have to be the country that I live in, that I was assured growing up was the best country you could be in, the freest country, best democracy, checks and balances everywhere. You do something wrong, you get caught, you get nailed, you go to jail, you go to prison, you do time, whatever it is. And now, nobody at the top gets anything. Worst that they get is a fine. Unbelievable, massive fraudulent activities in the financial sector of this country. And the best we could do is fine them a tiny amount of money that they can use their ill-gotten gains of profit to easily pay for and still have some left. What in the hell kind of lesson is that going to teach anybody? I can break the law, massive, highest degree felony ever in finance, rigging markets left and right, admitting left and right until we finally settle, then I don't have to admit guilt. I pay a settlement fee, $300, $400, $500 million. It sounds huge. And then you realize they made billions in the illegal activity. Even if it was $1 billion doing the illegal activity, it only cost them half of that in a fine. So they do rig some other market, get caught again, rig LIBOR rates. JP Morgan, notorious for rigging all kinds of different commodities. Been caught left and right, but the only one we can't seem to catch them rigging, CFTC says we don't see anything wrong, is the precious metals market. Yet it's the most outrageous with the leverage. Well over 100 to 1. Again, recently gold was 200 to 1, paper to real gold ratio. And there's no fraud going on when there's that many paper contracts that do not have the physical gold or silver that has to be there. Because if people start demanding deliver on all those contracts, where's the gold and silver going to come from? You don't have it. Well, their reply would be, not that they could ever say this on the record, but their reply would be, listen, Jay Snip, you realize that 90-something% of the market you're talking about, precious metals, the club member has the contracts out on the paper. So they're never going to demand delivery. It's only the little few percent that actually, are playing the game that demand delivery. But once again, you guys are breaking the law. You know what you're supposed to have there. You know what you're doing. Of course, behind closed doors, all day long, they know what they're doing. So I have an interesting webbot report. I just read. Someone actually bought it for me this time. And it's for October. And it will be interesting to see if what this report that's I did it last night, so I'm going to upload it. You will see it after this video. But it will be interesting to see if this report, webbot report, is spot on as far as the timing is concerned, because sometimes, as you know, it's not. But it'd be interesting if it is this time for what it is forecasting and when it is forecasting, which is very soon, for the price of silver to go up, almost said fairly significantly. Not fairly. If what it says is coming this soon, it's going to be significantly, not fairly significantly. It will be significant as far as price is concerned. And it mentions a failure to deliver commodities taking place in New York. And as you'll hear me talk about that in the report, I kind of stopped for a second and give my opinion, because I've stood by this whole time saying, man, I don't ever think we will see a COMEX default. The club will have a terrorist attack, or the cyber attack will take place and they shut the market down and this happened and that happened, or You know, they'll have some excuse. They're not going to just let their rigging system go down and show the whole world the conspiracy theories were all right, you know, this whole time. No way. But I'm like, man, if the webbot's actually picking up that there's going to be a failure to deliver commodities, oh man, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the freaking COMEX is going to default. But then I thought, as I was talking about it, I said, you know, not necessarily. Look at Glencore and Trafigura, these huge commodity powerhouses who are pretty much toast, by the way. They're walking dead men. As carcasses of a company. They're finished. They supposedly have to use their precious metals to use as collateral to get the financing they need to operate on a forward basis. And now that they're pretty much finished and they're done, those places that financial institutions that gave them the lending they needed for their day-to-day and, you know, monthly, weekly operations is going to say, hey, we need that collateral now because you guys appear to be finished. And I can just see it happening. Yeah, listen, about that collateral. We don't have it. See, we kind of lent it out to another party. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. That collateral you had was used specifically for us to give you the financing. I know, but we lent it out to someone else, just, you know, part-time, if you will, and they didn't give it back yet, and they can't give it back right now. So, what do you want to do about that? And you mean to tell me one of the founders, as soon as this story breaks about Trafigura and Glencore being pretty much walking dead men, they're finished. Financially, they're done. You mean to tell me, I believe it was Trafigura, founding CEO, found dead in Bogota, Colombia. Didn't live there, but was found dead there. And I think Bix Weir said it best. I think it was him who said this about that. Isn't that where all of the dead rich men go to retire? In other words, that's just a cover story. They go and retire down into Colombia or somewhere. So, wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. So, the fact that this guy all of a sudden winds up dead immediately upon the press release of his company being finished, essentially, tells you that there's going to be some finger pointing that's going to be aimed at him. You were the CEO, you were the one in charge, you had or you had something to do with this collapse and fraudulent activity we just uncovered. You're supposed to have this collateral that doesn't exist. We need to put you in front of Congress. Oh, he's dead. Well, I guess we can't put him in front of Congress. He's still responsible because he just died. So this hadn't been his lower management and upper management didn't have anything to do with this. It was all his fault. He'll be the scapegoat. He's dead now. Sorry. So no one else will get in trouble, right? The whole entire corporation, no one will get in trouble. They'll blame it on him, who's now dead or retired in Colombia. Which means my little scenario I just ran by you sounds really strong. No, we're not going to have a COMEX default. We're going to have a failure to deliver commodities by a big boy, either or both, Glencore or Trafigura. And that could be the failure to deliver we hear about come November or even this month, no telling, just very soon, apparently, according to the webbot, which also puts pressure on silver wanting to break out. But it's an interesting webbot report, I'm going to tell you. All I can say is I hope this particular forecast from the webbot report is accurate as far as the date goes, because I think we all, if you've been around me long enough, you've seen quite a bit of the WebBot stuff happen. And again, sometimes just not on time. It's the story or the information that I find important, saying, well, okay, it might happen at this date, but it might not, but at least I can tell what it's going to be, and if it's something I need to prepare for, then I, make the appropriate preparations. Of course, I feel like all my preparations have been taken care of. I don't know that I need anything else right now to prepare for anything for. So it's interesting. You'll see it again. You'll see it after this video is uploaded. Take care.